Hello, today we have Mrs. Suchitra Rout, an esteemed alumni of XIMB from the batch of 2011. Suchitra ma'am is currently pursuing her Ph.D. in XLRI. Prior to that, she worked in TATA Starbucks Private Limited as a senior manager, and before that, she was in PWC and L&T. She has a rich experience in various sectors like automotives, chemical, healthcare, banking, telecommunication. Her areas of interest include organizational design and rewards. We are glad to have you here, ma'am.
Thank you.
And should we proceed with the questions?
Sure.
Ma'am, could you please tell us about some of your significant experiences in XIMB and post XIMB, which helped you in your career in future?
Sure. So I would say that the 2 years of MBA, I think my greatest learning from that would be how do you work with different kinds of people? Because that is something, irrespective of whichever field you join, you have to work with different kinds of people who have different strengths. So I think all the group work and all the projects that we did together, that is the learning that I carried on that you have to be able to work with different kinds of people to make your work a success because you're not a lone wolf anywhere. So I think that is a major learning for me from XIMB. And there are multiple opportunities for this while you are in school, in the MBA school. So that would be my number one learning.
Thank you. Ma'am, like moving on to next question, you have worked for over 9 years in different sectors, and now you have started with your PhD. So you have worked in various organizations. So how has your prior learning helped you in different transition and now transiting once again to studies?
Okay. So I think in terms of, I started my career as a software engineer after engineering. That I worked for about a year in TCS. So which was mostly a very technical aspect. Okay, sorry about the background noise. That's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So that was more about the technical aspect of coding, and there it was an entry level role. So it's mostly an individual specific role where it's mostly based on your technical skills. Now, post MBA, I joined L&T as an assistant manager in HR. So that gave me the exposure of working with different functions and getting together different functions to reach your objective. I would say my major learnings came from my next stint at PwC, which was as a consultant, as HR consultant, and there we got to work in various fields. From our clients were like Royal Enfield and uh, organizations which were undergoing a major turnaround. So I got to see it firsthand being there in their organization, and I think that's where most of the learnings came from. So I think one thing that you should have, maybe as a student or as a person you're working, is being open to learning because the opportunities are countless, no matter which field you join. So being open to learning and learning new things, most of the time what happens is our ego comes in the way. Once you work in your field, you really think I know it all. If this is the project, I know what I need to do, step after step. But being able to keep that aside, keeping your confidence in that, yes, I know what I know, but being able to, uh, accept different points of view from different kinds of people you meet, I think that goes a long way.
This would be very helpful for our students. But moving to next question, you have worked in organizational design and rewards mostly. So, in this new normal, how have you seen a shift from in different organizational structure and its talent management?
I think, this pandemic has opened up a new opportunity for us. Like, um, About 5 6 years ago, there were a lot of people who were working from home because PwC, being a global organization, had a lot of these opportunities that you could do a role from a different city, even if the office did not exist. This was 5 6 years ago. So I think that has become like the new normal now, and this is going to be the way things are in the future because with all the constraints that people are going to face with traveling, with the urban cities, with the climate change. I think these are some things that organizations will need to adopt. Remote working, flexible work options. So this is going to be the game changer for organizations as well as people because people have variety of skills. They don't want to be limited to one role in one organization and grow up that ladder vertically. So they want to experiment. Maybe 3 4 years they work in HR, then they want to move into operations, and I think this will be the new normal. That flexible ways, remote ways of working. So I think the pandemic, of course, there have been a lot of losses in terms of what COVID-19 has shown us, but it has also shown us a new way to live.
Yes, ma'am. Can't agree more with you in that point. Ma'am, now in this pandemic situation, and our seniors are going for a post MBA journey. So, can you give some advices to current students who are in this pandemic and situation and studying, and to our uh, senior batch, how to prepare for the days that are before them?
I think you're very intelligent. Yeah, all the kids are very, very intelligent. There's no special advice that I have for you all. All my best wishes for all of you. I understand it's a tough period in terms of the pandemic coming and the jobs, but all this is very temporary. Like when I was passing out from engineering, there was the recession which was striking. So people thought that's it. Our life is going to end, and we were in engineering, so software was the big thing then. So, people thought that that's it, software is over, अब कुछ और देखना है. But all this is temporary. What you possess as an individual and what you have to offer to organizations, um, that will remain. So, yes, it might be a small patch, a small period now, but you're intelligent and you're going to make it through. So, don't worry at all. So, it'll all be fine in the end.
Ma'am, this should inspire us in these difficult times, of course. I'm coming to the last question, but not the least, of course. Could you share some one moment in XIMB which you cherish most in your life?
I think. Um, I've had a lot of good moments with friends, and we've spent. I think that's what you remember after everything gets over is that your time that you spent with your loved ones. So we had great moments of like, yes, you have a deadline, and almost every other day there was a deadline. So after that, getting over, and then you relax. And I remember those moments of like sitting together and making something. I also had a small like a rice cooker in my room, so used to cook and all the friends would come over and it would be just Maggie and fruits but it would be great. So I think those chit chat sessions are the most close to my heart.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable insights as well as your fun moments, which we are missing, of course, in this
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. All the best. You all will all do well, don't worry.
Thank you,
You're
ma'am.
intelligent kids, you will do well.